Hey there, friends. Pastor Jason here. Glad you can join me for daily devotionals, where today we're in Joshua chapters 19 and 20. Now, yesterday I might have mentioned that we had finished proportioning out the land. Nope, we still got some more to go. I was reading ahead, got confused. Happens sometimes, So let's get right to it. Chapters 19 and 20. Short one today, just because of how the math for chapters is going to work out, so we wrap up nice and neatly in Joshua here in just a couple days. 19, verse 1. The second lot came out for Simeon, for the tribe of his descendants by their clans, but their inheritance was in the portion of Judah's descendants. Their inheritance included Beersheba, or Sheba, Moladah, Hazar Shual, Bala, Ezim, Eltalad, Bethel, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Macroboth, Hazar Susa, Beth Laboath, and Sheraun, 13 cities with their villages. Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities with their villages, and all the villages surrounding these cities as far as Baaleth Beer, Ramah of the south. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Simeon's descendants by their clans. The inheritance of Simeon's descendants was within the territory of Judah's descendants, because the share for Judah's descendants was too large for them. So Simeon's descendants received an inheritance within Judah's portion. The third lot came up for Zebulun's descendants by their clans. The territory of their inheritance stretched as far as Sarid. Their border went up westward to Marlah, reached Dabasheth, and met the brook east of Jokneam. From Sarid, it turned east toward the sunrise along the border of Chisloth Tabor, went to Debarath, and went up to Japhia. From there, it went east toward the sunrise to Gath Hefer and to Ephkazin. It extended to Rimmon, curving around Neah. The border then circled around Neah to the north to Hanathon, and ended at the valley of Iftalel, along with Katath, Nahalal, Shimron, Idalah, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of Zebulun's descendants by their clans, these cities with their villages. The fourth lot came out to the tribe of Ishkar's descendants by their clans. The territory went to Jezreel and included Chesoluth and Shunem, Hapharaim, Shion, Anaharath, Rabbith, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, En-Genim, En-Hada, Beth-Pezez. The border reached Tabor, Shahazuma, and Beth-Shemesh, and ended at the Jordan, 16 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of Ishkar's descendants by their clans, the cities with their villages. The fifth lot came out for the tribe of Asher's descendants by their clans. Their boundary included Helkath, Hali, Beton, Akshaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal, and reached westward to Carmel and Shehor Libnath. It turned eastward to Beth Dagon, past Zebulun and the valley of Iftal El, north toward Beth Emek and Neiel, and went north to Kabul, Ebron, Rehob, Hammon, and Cana, as far as Great Sidon. The boundary then turned to Ramah as far as the fortified city of Tyre. It turned back to Hassa and ended at the sea, including Mahalab, Akzib, Umah, Aphek, and Rehob, 22 cities with their villages. And if I'm butchering any of these names, forgive me. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Asher's descendants by their clans, these cities with their villages. The sixth lot came up to Naphtali's descendants by their clans. Their boundary went from Heleph and from the oak of Zananim, including Adammenekeb and Jebneel, as far as Lachum, and ended at the Jordan. To the west, the boundary turned to Aznoth Tabor and went from there to Hukok, reaching Zebulun on the south, Asher on the west, and Judah at the Jordan on the east. The fortified cities were Ziddim, Zur, Hamath, Raketh, Chinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, and Hazor, Iron, Migdal El, Horem, Beth Anath, Beth Shemesh, 19 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Naphtali's descendants by their clans, the cities with their villages. The seventh lot came out for the Danite tribe by its clans. The territory of their inheritance included Zorah, Eshtaol, Ir-Shemesh, Sha'al-Labin, Ajalon, Ithla, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Baalath, Jehud, Beni Barak, Gath Rimmon, Mijarkon, and Rakan, with a territory facing Joppa. When the territory of the Danites slipped out of their control, they went up and fought against Leshem, captured it, and struck it down with the sword. So they took possession of it, lived there, and renamed Leshem after their ancestor Dan. This was the inheritance of the Danite tribe by its clans, these cities with their villages. When they had finished distributing the land into its territories, the Israelites gave Joshua son of Nun an inheritance among them. By the Lord's command, they gave him the city Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, which he requested. He rebuilt the city and lived in it. These were the portions of Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the families distributed to the Israelite tribes by lot at Shiloh in the Lord's presence at the entrance to the tent of meeting. So they finished dividing up the land. Chapter 20. Then the Lord spoke to Joshua, "Tell the Israelites, select your cities of refuge as I instructed you through Moses, so that a person who kills someone unintentionally or accidentally may flee there. These will be your refuge from the avenger of blood. When someone flees to one of these cities, stands at the entrance of the city gate, and states his case before the elders of that city, they are to bring him into the city and give him a place to live among them. And if the avenger of blood pursues him, they must not hand the one who committed manslaughter over to him, for he killed his neighbor accidentally and did not hate him beforehand. He is to stay in that city until he stands trial before the assembly, and until the death of the high priest serving at that time. Then the one who committed manslaughter may return home to his own city from which he fled." So they designated Kadesh in the hill country of Naphtali in Galilee, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. Across from Jordan, east of Jericho, they selected Bezer. On the wilderness plateau from Reuben's tribe, Ramoth in Gilead from Gad's tribe, and Golan in Bashan from Manasseh's tribe. These were the cities appointed for all the Israelites and foreigners among them, so that anyone who kills a person unintentionally may flee there and not die at the hand of the avenger of blood until he stands before the assembly. Well, I'll give you one last peek here at a map. I'll be able to remember that. Here are all the tribes of Israel are, and which were all just described, give or take, like those lines probably are, they're correct. And it's interesting too that we get, that's the first instance of the Lord then, what's the first thing he does? He says, make sure you set out your cities of refuge. Because it was easy to die back then, and we wanted to make sure that anyone who died unintentionally, who got killed unintentionally, that those people that initiated that had a place to go and to run and to be safe. Just grace and mercy still on the mind of the Lord, here even in the taking of the land. Hey, with that, I know 19 and 20 were short. I hope they were a blessing to you. Go on out, be a blessing to those around you, and I'll see you tomorrow as we continue in Joshua.